All right, today I'm going to show you how to do an index match function combo. Really all of that it's used for is it uses kind of variable inputs to kind of come out with a matched pair, and it's just a more robust way of kind of doing lookups. All right. The pros of using it is, like I said, it allows you dynamic variable changing output, and it works left to right or right to left, something that the more popular lookup tool VLOOKUP can't do. It can only go rightwards. All right. So let me hide this. Let me just kind of go into it. So the two elements of this combo pair is index and match. If you're not familiar, index, what it does is it takes the following criteria. It takes an array, two criteria, and then it outputs the following value. So for instance, if you go here to this index example, if I just want to randomly look up 5 and 2 and I activate the index function, all right, the reference table is going to be this, all right. A small note here, it really doesn't matter what your array is going to be as long as you're kind of like knowledgeable about it, because it will impact your index values. So for instance, if I started this table below the header, I would have actually started counting this at 1 rather than 2. Okay, so that's my array. What's my row? So my row is going to be this one right here. Okay, and then my column is going to be this one right here. And so another way to think of it is your row is your y coordinate, your column is your x coordinate, and so when you submit a xy coordinate into index, it should output a accompanying value. So when you tell it to kind of look for 5 rows up and 2 rows across, in theory, so if I go 5 rows, not 5 rows up, 5 rows down and 2 across, it should bring back the value New York. So I'm going to press enter. And as you see here, it does bring back the value New York. All right. And so that's how index works. So then again, so then how does match work? Match, all it does is it looks for a value and tries to find you the row that it's sitting in. Okay. So if I go here, activate match, and I want to look for the value beaver. Okay. I don't know if it's case sensitive. Let's find out. What I'm going to need is I'm going to still need the array. So I'm going to do it right here. So I know that beaver's here. So I'm going to select F because I'm getting lazy. And then I need to do the search type. By default, match uses nearest neighbor, so that's not right. So you have to always indicate exact match, which is 0. So I do that. And then what's my answer? 13. Okay. So when I look at my table, I'll notice that beaver's right here. So I'll highlight that yellow. Oh, I won't highlight that. I'll notice here, but it's not row 13. So what's going on? The reason why it's doing 13 is because I was lazy. I set my array to do the entirety of column F. And so if you look here, it's not 5, but it is 13 right here. So 13 here, 13 here. So it's really just like little nuances. I think within the context of what we're talking about, it's 13 would be wrong. So all you would have to do to fix that is you just have to change the array to meet the table. So I'm going to start the array at 9. And the array has to match what the index is. So the index started from the header. So I'm going to do the same thing. So F9. And once you do that, you'll see that it then returns the correct relative index, which is 5, beaver. Okay. And so now that we know the two elements, maybe you can kind of start to see how you can use it. So the match value will then just automatically pull in the row value, and you can key it to whatever input value you want. So in this case, I put in beaver, but as you can imagine, I can create a cell variable so that I could just constantly change the cell, and this will automatically bring back the row, and then subsequently it will bring in the lookup value for the index function. So rather than just kind of like ideate about it, let's kind of do it in reality, right? So the challenge with index and match combo is, and so you can do this for the index value as well, but let's just say for this example, we know what the column value is going to be. Like I want to look up, I don't know, the governor of this table, right? So the column is going to be column 5. All right, so I'm gonna put that here. The row using match is I'm going to need my variable input. So before I do that, I want to say, okay, so I want to know the governor for, let's just say, Illinois, right? So I'm just copy that, and that's my equate. Oh no, I'm going to put it right here. That's going to be my variable, right? And so I'm going to engage the match function. So match this search with, where is it? this here, the array is the same as my index array, and then I'm gonna do 0, okay? And so it gives me 6, all right? And so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the index combo. So the index combo is just the index value with the match wrapped inside, right? So the reference is going to be this whole thing. And then my row is going to be my, this is not really convenient, row right here. And then my column is what I know, which is this 5. And what should be up there is, if this is correct, the mayor of Illinois is J.B. Pritzker, all right? So if I go here, Illinois, I'll see that the mayor is indeed J.B. Pritzker, all right? And so that's just repeating kind of what we know. So where's the true value of this? So then if I want to do North Carolina, for instance, and put it in the variable, it will self-adjust and it will show you Roy Cooper. So if you see your North Carolina is indeed, the governor is Roy Cooper. So that's how you use the index match combo. It's a very old school way of doing things. Like I said, there's newer ways of doing things nowadays, but you probably still see a lot of comp professionals and accounting professionals and FP&A professionals probably still using it.